Hi there, riders, and welcome to another edition of a park review from Big Guy Rides. The next park that we went to go visit is called Worlds of Fun, located in Kansas City, Missouri. This is an awesome park, one that I grew up going to, so it is a little bit of a home park for me as I visited quite often as a child. This is owned by the Cedar Fair chain, and I got in using my Gold Pass. The first ride at the park that we went to go check out is their brand new ride from last year, Zambezi Zinger. This opened in 2023, and it is a redesign of an old Schwarzkopf coaster that was at this park in the 90s and earlier. It used to be a steel coaster, but they have now converted it to wood. I gave it a ride rating of 10 out of 10 and a size rating of a large. This one's made by Great Coasters International, GCI. And a lot of people might not think that this is the best ride in the park, but for me personally, it had quite a bit of nostalgia, and I thought the ride was absolutely incredible and intense. Therefore, I gave it a perfect rating, and I think this is one of the best rides at the park. With that said, let's take a spin with Zambezi Zinger. I think that ride's an awesome experience with great low to the ground forces. And up next we went over to Boomerang. This is a Vekoma coaster. It is common at a lot of parks. This one happens to have the extra seatbelt restraints, which makes it a little bit tight for larger riders. I give it a ride rating of 6 out of 10 and a size rating of a large. Those with larger bellies or really large shoulders might have a little bit of trouble getting this one on. Let's take a ride frontwards and backwards with the Boomerang. And that one's probably mid when it comes to shakiness. Those coasters can get a bit rough. Up next, I went over to Mamba. This is their Morgan Hyper Coaster. And I remember as a kid this being one of the scariest rides. We gave it a ride rating of 9 out of 10 and a size rating of an XL. As a reminder, I'm about 6'4", 295 pounds. These Morgan trains feature seat belts plus a lap bar combo, but it offers a lot of room for large riders. Couple of things I want to note while we take this climb up the lift hill. Halfway through the Mamba, there is a sprinkler. I don't know if it is there to cool off the brake run or if it just happens to cross over, but you will get a little bit of a splash in the face. And secondly, they have turned off the trims on Mamba, making it an extremely fast ride, and it is running a lot better than I used to remember it. With these new changes, I think it's an awesome ride. With that said, let's go 75 miles an hour with the Mamba. What a fun ride. Watch out on the backside. Those bunny hills and the brakes as you come into the station are pretty hard. I would definitely recommend a stop at the Mamba. Up next, we went over to Prowler. This is their GCI that was put in 2009. It features Millennium Flyer trains, which are similar to those on Ghost Rider, Texas Stingray, Apocalypse, and Roller Coaster at Lagoon. So if you've been on any of those, you should fit fine. I give it a ride rating of 9 out of 10 and a size rating of a large. A lot of people might hate me for putting Zambezi Zinger a higher rating than this, but personally I just think Zambezi packs a little bit of a better punch, although Prowler is a much longer and more well put together ride. With that said, let's hit the jungle with the Prowler. What a fun ride on the Prowler that was. I can also say for a Woody, that's a fairly smooth coaster, and I think a lot of people will enjoy it. After we stepped off the Prowler, we went over to the Zulu. This is located in the same back section of the park. This is a really unique ride. We give it a ride rating of 5 out of 10 and a size rating of a large. This holds 1 or 2 people per car, and it does not have a seat belt. It works with gravity as centrifugal force is what keeps you locked into place as you spin around. Let's take a ride on the Zulu. Next, we started to take a little bit of walk around the park and head to a couple of different sections. I do want to say that Worlds of Fun is absolutely beautifully landscaped, and it has different sections or different themes for varying parts of the world as you walk through. There's also a Moulin Rouge stage, which I would highly recommend to stop and watch the show. Then we went over to get on the Flying Dutchman. This is a swing style of ride that features boat-looking cars. These cars can hold 1 or 2 riders. I give it a size rating of an XXL and a ride rating of a 4 out of 10. If you go alone, it should allow for plenty of room for single riders. Let's take a spin with the Flying Dutchman. Next, we went over to the bumper cars called Autobahn. I give this a ride rating of 1 out of 10 and a size rating of an XL. I can honestly say this is probably the worst amusement park ride I have ever done. No, the POV is not slowed down. These cars literally move at about 1 to 2 miles per hour. They also encourage no bumping, which I don't understand the point of bumper cars if you're not allowed to bump. Anyhow, as we continued on, we went over to the Wild West and Americana section of the park. There's some really good food over in this area, so if you're hungry, I would recommend that you make your way over to this section of the park. Worlds of Fun has a little bit more theming than most parks. Up next, we went over to the Timberwolf. This is their Den Corporation coaster, one of 5 left operating in North America. And this Woody was also recently retracked, which I am thankful for. As a kid, I remember this being very rough, but I can honestly say, after the retrack, it's running fairly smooth. This one features seatbelts plus a lap bar combo. We give it a size rating of a large and a ride rating of 7 out of 10. The seat divider in between the two rider cars is very tight, and those with wide hips or large thighs may have a little bit of issues getting down into the seat. I was able to fit, however, so let's take a ride. That was a great retract ride on the Timberwolf. After that, we went over to Planet Snoopy. This is a kids and family area that features a lot of attractions for a park of this size. If you've got little ones heading to the park with you, I would be sure to make a stop over here early as it gets extremely crowded in this section of the park. Most of the rides in this area are designed for kids and families exclusively, but there are a few rides that single riders and adults can hop on if you're looking for some extra credits. One of those happens to be the kiddie coaster called Cosmic Coaster. This is a Preston and Barbieri coaster, which is a kind of unique kids model. We give it a ride rating of a 3 out of 10 and a size rating of an XXL. Adults are allowed to ride alone, offering for ample space in these cars. It has a seatbelt only. And with that said, let's take a lap on the Cosmic Coaster. Over in Planet Snoopy, there is also the Woodstock Gliders. This has a ride rating of 4 out of 10 and a size rating of an XXL. Once again, this one allows for single riders, so you should have plenty of room if you'd like to go alone. Let's take a spin with the Woodstock Gliders. The last ride that we did over in Planet Snoopy was Snoopy's Rocket Express. This is a family tramway that goes over a little bit of the park and offers a really cool view. We gave a ride rating of 3 out of 10 and a size rating of an XXL. Once again, this one has a seatbelt only restraint and allows for quite a bit of room for larger riders. Let's enjoy the ride. There's also a little Snoopy camp and gift shop as you exit out of Planet Snoopy. The next thrill ride we went to get on is the Detonator. This is an S&S space shot and allows for decent room for larger riders. We gave it a ride rating 8 out of 10 and a size rating of an XL. Those with large stomachs are going to have a little bit of trouble on this one, but wide shoulders and taller riders should be able to fit. Let's take the launch on the Detonator. I can say for a launch tower, that ride has some absolute ejector air time when you get to the top. One of the best launch towers I've been on. After that, we went over to the Troika style of ride called Mustang Runner. This one allows for single riders. I gave it a ride rating of 5 out of 10 and a size rating of an XL. If you go alone, you should have plenty of room. This one has a seat belt plus a lap bar combo, but neither are very tight. Let's get flung around on Mustang Runner. Over in the Wild West section of the park, you do have the Americana Arcade. For a park of this size, this is a very small arcade, but it still provides a decent little spot to jump out of the heat, get indoors and catch some air conditioning, or let the kids step away as the adults go to ride. Next we got on SteelHawk. This is their Mondale Windseeker model, and this one I believe is over 300 feet tall, giving it a ride rating of 7 out of 10 and a size rating of a large. The inside seat has a little bit of a larger space, so the ride op suggested if you are a larger rider to sit on the inside. This has a lap bar that comes down from overhead and offers some stunning views of the park, Kansas City, and the downtown metro area. Let's take flight with SteelHawk. What a fun ride on that model that actually came from Knott's Berry Farm. After that, we went over to Cyclone Sams. This is a chance wipeout model that is placed indoor and gives the illusion that you are in the middle of a tornado. We give this a ride rating of 6 out of 10 and a size rating of an XL. On these style of rides, the larger rider should always sit towards the outside if you are not riding alone. If you're a single rider, this offered for a decent amount of room, although the automated lap bars are a little bit tight. With that said, let's take a spin with Cyclone Sams. What a dizzy ride that was on Cyclone Sams Inside. And up next, we went over to get on the Patriot. This is an absolutely underrated B&M. I don't think enough people talk about this. I personally find this to be better than the Batman clones. And I think it offers a little bit of a unique ride compared to some of the other B&Ms, especially the inverts I've been on. This one has a little bit of a tight restraint. We gave it a size rating of a large and a ride rating 8 out of 10. With that said, let's go soaring on Patriot. That's a great ride on Patriot. If there's one thing to complain about, you could say that the ride is a little bit short, but again, like I said, I think that's one of the better B&M inverts that a lot of people don't talk about. After that, we went over to a spinning ride called the Bamboozler. This is a ride that presses you against the backside of the restraints and just kind of holds you into the cage. We gave it a ride rating of a 2 out of 10, but a size rating of an XXL, as nearly anybody should be able to stand up in one of these pods. Tall riders, beware your head may press against the back of the cage. You may want to bend down to get on the padding. Let's spin with the Bamboozler. After that, we headed over to the Central Plaza to catch some of the weekend activities during Kids Fest. One of the most awesome things that I've ever seen at a theme park was this Marvelous Mutts dog show that was going on. There were some talented four-legged friends. Over in the same plaza, they had a meet and greet with some of the Snoopy characters, which the kids always enjoy. The next ride we got on was the Grand Carousel. This is an older ride and has some historical significance. We gave it a ride rating of 2 out of 10 and a size rating XXL. There is bench seating available, so anybody should be able to ride. We then went over to Fjord Fjarlane. This is a really cool ride, very unique style of ride. I have not been on at any other park. And kind of bounces you up and down as you spin around in a circle. We give it a ride rating 5 out of 10 and a size rating of an XL. Single riders are allowed to go alone and leaves you plenty of space in the cars. Let's take a ride on Fjord Fjarlane. That was an awesome flat ride. Next we went to Nordic Chaser. This is a fun family flat that spins you around in a circle. Be sure to stop by this section of the park if you've got some kids that are transitioning into being able to ride some of the bigger rides. We gave it a ride rating of a 4 out of 10 and a size rating of an XL. Single riders can go alone, just make sure that you can get the seatbelt and the lap bar to close, and that should allow for plenty of room for those with larger stomachs and wide hips. So let's take a spin. After that, we went to the Scandi Scrambler. That is in the same area of the park. This one got a ride rating of 5 out of 10 and a size rating XXL. Larger riders, if you have a partner, ride on the outside of this style of attraction, as you may get squished into the edge of the car. If you're riding alone, this again will allow for ample room for larger riders to be able to go. With that said, let's take a spin with the Scrambler. There is a small pond in this section of the park, and as you cross over it, you will find the Sea Dragon. This one has a ride rating of 5 out of 10 and a size rating of an XL. It has single position lap bars that will go over everybody in the row. Let's take a swing. Skyliner was the next attraction that we went to go ride. Just note, there is no single riders on this Ferris wheel style of attraction. No single riders. If you do have a partner though, I would definitely recommend the stop as it offers some great views of the park. We gave it a ride rating of 3 out of 10 and a size rating of an XL. Let's take a few spins with the Skyliner. Shout out to my parents who went on this visit with me. Pro tip for larger riders, always bring along a friend or another rider who can help you get strapped in. Up next, we went over to LeTaxiTour. This is their antique car style of attraction. It got a ride rating of 5 out of 10 and a size rating of an XXL. The reason for the 5 out of 10 is this has a very long layout and some downhill parts that actually offer some pretty good momentum through the cars. One of the best antique car rides I've ever been on. Let's go racing. And what a fun antique car ride. Apologize for the little bit of fogginess there on the POV as my eye view glasses were beginning to fog up because of the humidity. The last ride that we went to go get on was the Worlds of Fun Railroad. This is an awesome train that takes you throughout most the entirety of the park. It's a very relaxing, calm ride and allows you to view a lot of the different areas of the park in one shot. We give it a ride rating of 4 out of 10 and a size rating of an XXL. Anyone should be able to get on this ride, including those who have disabilities, as it is handicap friendly. There goes Prowler. And then we went over to the Tivoli Music Hall, which is an area that I used to perform as in band as a kid. And it has been transformed into this 50th anniversary celebration of Worlds of Fun. The Lamar Hunt family, who donated a lot of money and is very charitable in the Kansas City area. They also own the Kansas City Chiefs. And they have put together a really cool expo here, talking about the history of Worlds of Fun, showing some of the past rides like the Orient Express, which was one of my favorite rides as a kid. The Spinning Dragons I gave a ride rating of 6 out of 10 and a size rating of a large. I have been on this ride many a times, but it happened to be closed on this particular visit. I do not have a POV. A couple of the water rides we did not get on were the Viking Voyager and the Fury of the Nile. Unfortunately, I just don't like to get wet. And with that brings to conclusion our visit to Worlds of Fun. Being that this is the park I grew up going to, I have visited this numerous times and seen it grow and change over the years. I would definitely recommend a stop at this park if you are in the Kansas City area or if you are a coaster or thrill seeker. They also happen to have a lot of rides that feature a large size rating, so those who are a little bit bigger will certainly enjoy this park. We will certainly be visiting this park again and are excited to see how it grows and continues to operate years into the future. We appreciate you coming on our visit with us to Worlds of Fun. We ask you to like, comment, and subscribe, as that greatly helps us with the YouTube algorithms. Thank you for watching. Big Guy Rides.